The Florida Horse Podcast is presented by the Florida Thoroughbred Breeders and Owners Association.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Florida Horse Podcast. I'm your host, Sheridan, and I'm here today with Steve Koch. And today we're going to be talking about two new products or redesigned products for Florida Equine Communications. The first being the new Wire-to-Wire Daily Racing Digest and the new FTBOA website, ftboa.com. First of all, I'd kind of like to talk a little bit about the new Wire-to-Wire Daily Racing Digest. I hope that you have been looking at it, if you've been getting it in your inbox. One of the things that you'll notice about the new Wire-to-Wire is that it's a more timely product than the old Wire-to-Wire. The Thursday and Friday editions are a preview of stakes races for the upcoming weekend on Saturdays and Sundays. They concentrate more on Florida breds than previous editions. So on Thursdays and Fridays, you're going to get advances for Florida breds running in stakes throughout the weekend. Then on Saturday and Sunday, you'll notice that you'll be getting a Saturday edition. So Wire-to-Wire is certainly a more timely product. So it's same-day coverage of races, of Florida breds running in races throughout North America on both Saturday night and Sunday night.
Brock, I think the timely component of the new Wire-to-Wire format, the emphasis on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, lining up with the actual racing week, I think that's hopefully very valuable to our users. I mean, our breeders want to know when their horses that they've bred or are racing themselves are in. They want to know what's happening today, right now, and when that race runs. Well, you running that news that evening is going to be very valuable. So, and also, as fast as the horses race, so too does breeding information. So the timeliness of all that hopefully is very valuable for our users, and that's going to feed back to our advertisers. The more timely it is, the more Wire-to-Wire is a must-read, and therefore we're making sure all the eyes get on that product. And it should not be underestimated just how many eyes are on this Wire-to-Wire. We're mailing this thing out to 3,000. If I'm correct, 3,000 addresses every single day. We have very high open and read rates on these, and there's a congratulations in order for Wire-to-Wire being as timely as is the racing scene, and therefore really creating that value.
That's right. We're sending this thing out to about 3,500, and our open rate so far is 40%. So it's got a very high open rate. People are showing a very high interest. And that leads me right into our next topic and another improvement for the new Wire-to-Wire, and that is its relation with social media and how easy it is for people to share these stories on social media. These stories are posted on the new website, and so if you read the new Wire-to-Wire, they link directly to the new website. And on the new website, it's much easier to share on social media, isn't it?
Between the timeliness and the web-friendly, social-friendly, and mobile phone-friendly components of the new Wire-to-Wire, and are probably where you're going to hit it out of the park. The new Wire-to-Wire certainly hinges on the all-new ftboa.com website that hopefully our audience will either has used or will be taking a look at very soon. Being able to feed those articles straight into everyone's inbox. They can see it on their phone in a vertical, phone-friendly format, and then it clicks right through to this new website where the articles can be archived, they can be easily searched. And it just certainly increases their use and their value. And again, adding value for our advertiser component, right? Because our advertisers now are not just attached to the Wire-to-Wire, but we can bring that all the way over to the website with the various opportunities there. It really enhances your distribution and enhances your eyes, your impressions, and therefore overall value should be a home run.
And one of the aspects or pages that were so very valuable, going back to the old printed version of Wire-to-Wire that our readers told us over and over again that they liked. It was the in-today list of the horses, the Florida breds that are racing around the country. They're categorized by breeders, so the breeders list, and the in-today list by stallion progeny as well. So I want readers to know that those are still available. They're also easily searchable, and those products, and we're also trying to develop new agate products that will keep people interested and being able to get the information that they want right away. One of the other features that is kind of new about Wire to Wire when it comes to what we call agate in the journalism business is we have the stakes, entries, and results updated on a daily basis for the new Wire to Wire. So one of the things that we are concentrating more on with the new Wire to Wire is we're trying to make it linked more to all Florida all the time, is what I kind of like to say. We even with horses that are not bred here in Florida, we try to highlight the horses that are a big part of what we call the horse capital of the world here. So many horses that race throughout the country are sold here at Ocala Breeder Sales, or if they're not sold here, they may be broke here. Or receive their early training here at in the Ocala, Marion County area and some of the surrounding counties. And a good example is Archangelo. There's a horse that won the Grade 1 Belmont Stakes. He's one of the more popular horses in the country now. Just won the Travers Stakes. He's trained by Gina Antonucci, who's a resident here in Ocala. He received his early training from Gina and Katie Miranda at their horseology operation, which is located at Goldmark Farm. So that's just an example of horses that may not be Florida bred, but we're still trying to highlight the industry that is Ocala and Marion County.
I think it really makes an important point that Florida breeding and Florida racing is so much more than the significant component that is the Florida breds, right? So Wire to Wire has a real role to play in the national industry. This is bigger than just Florida because, we're breeding some fantastic racehorses, but what we, I don't want to say overlook, but what we undervalue or underestimate perhaps is that, half to 3/4 of the entire yearling to 2-year-old crop every year comes through Ocala to get their early schooling, their winter training, to eventually maybe go through the sales ring at OBS. It's a magnificent portion of the entire North American industry. And so there's actually a lot to report on there. And to use your words, all Florida all the time, really carves a clear niche for Wire to Wire, that timeliness and that all Florida, creating tremendous value.
For anybody that has not seen the new Wire to Wire and you're interested in subscribing, we're going to put a QR code up on the screen right now so you can scan that QR code. That'll take you right to the page on the new FTBOA website where you can fill out your new subscription. Which brings us to our next topic here, and that is the new FTBOA website, ftboa.com. And I got to tell you, I am very excited about this product.
I hope that everybody really appreciates the all-new ftboa.com website. I was very happy to arrive just more than a year ago at FTBOA, and one of the early discussions that you and I were having were two things. It's the website. How can the website and Wire to Wire really enhance each other? And it was data, right? There is so much Florida data that we can compile and share with our users. And so these became two important projects that you and I have collaborated on for a full year now. And we've finally arrived in a moment where these two objects coalesce. They feed off of each other. And what results is a very thoughtful but very simple website where we're able to feed the your print products, which is Wire to Wire, the Florida Horse, and of course there's other products like the Horse Capital Digest. And we're able to feed those in a very simple way on the website with its own section of the site labeled Wire to Wire. Starting right on the home page, we are able to get right into, hey, what is the purpose of FTBOA and why should I breed a Florida racehorse? And that fires right off from the front page of the site. We're very lucky with FTBOA because if being in the media business that we are, in addition to the breeding business, it helps our website be very dynamic because having that media arm, the content that your people are producing, makes the site, every day the site is different. Every day there's a new headline or multiple new headlines that can feed that front page. You scroll down a little further and it can feed you over to, well, sure, but why should I breed a Florida bred? Well, here's a very concise presentation of racing incentives at Gulfstream, racing incentives at Tampa Bay Downs, where we are at today with breeding incentives, where we are at today with legislative action, right? But even more than that, harking back to that data comment, we're finally able to actually have a more user-friendly search function. If there's a part of the page called Forms and Search, where you can actually search for, is my horse a Florida bred, which stallions were registered with the program in which years, and the other component of that that's very valuable at the racetrack is which horses are eligible to the Florida Sire Stakes program, right? And so now we've got some thoughtful engineering on how to search those, and that's actually a component I think we can be excited to report will get even better in the next months to year, because what underpins that data, FTBOA is working away very hard right now to build a from-scratch proprietary back-of-house database for all of that information that will greatly ease our make more efficient our operations that feed the entire FSS program, the breeders program, and therefore the website gets better because it'll be able to feed off of that. Of course, membership is a component of the site. Association Vice President of Memberships and Events, Tammy Gantt, it works so hard to provide value to our membership and to sign up memberships. So there's a core function of the website there for that. And then there is a page dedicated completely to Florida bred incentives. And I think many of our users will find value in that, going, okay, yeah, sure, but what are my racing incentives and why do I want to go to one race or another or target a specific race series? So hopefully all of that's very valuable. The company that built this site for us really deserves a pat on the back. There's a company in Lexington, Kentucky called Blue Million. Early on in this process, we identified that Blue Million was just the right builder for the site because they have very much experience in the equine business and specifically in the thoroughbred business. They've built sites at places such as the NTRA, the Racing Medication and Testing Consortium, and they also have major national brands like the Navy SEALs and Wrangler. And so combining those talent sets just really worked for us, and I can't say enough about working with Blue Million. They were just magical in this product. I think that they super delivered on the original instructions. Hey, a very simple site that just stone cold works on a mobile device and that our users just have no trouble navigating. And I think Blue Million just crushed it for us.
You know, with this new wire-to-wire, the new website, you know, if you had to come up with one word that really characterizes this whole new communication that we're coming up with, what's the one word that comes to mind for you?
Oh, I think that's an apt question, Brock. I think the word is innovation. You know, we've got several critical initiatives at FTBOA where we're moving ourselves forward and making ourselves more efficient and better at what we do. But there's three key things that are coming together right now, and that would be the wire-to-wire product clearly is innovative. And takes an old concept and makes it modern and fits current needs. It folds right into this brand new website, which is super simple and feeds so nicely on the mobile device, which is everything that our modern users need. And then you add to that we are innovating through back-of-house database activity that can further drive our all Florida all the time objective.
If you want to go visit the new FTBOA website, it's at very simply ftboa.com. You can Google it, and also we're going to put a QR code up on the screen right now, so you can take your smartphone out right now and scan the QR code on the screen. But I think that's about all we have to talk about today. We hope that you enjoyed some of the new features that you're seeing on Wire to Wire. We hope that you have the opportunity to go visit the new FTBOA website at ftboa.com. If you've already been there, we hope that you're getting a lot of useful information. We hope it gives you plenty of reasons to track your Florida bred, maybe get more Florida breds and share information with your friends about the Florida thoroughbred breeding industry. That's going to do it for the podcast today. Steve, thanks very much for stopping by. Hope you join us next time on the Florida Horse Podcast.
The Florida Horse Podcast is presented by the Florida Thoroughbred Breeders and Owners Association.